Good evening, friends, and welcome. And I don't know what is going on with Twitch. All right, Twitch does not seem to be working properly. There we go. I think now we got it working. Good evening, everybody. Sorry for the delay, and welcome to another edition of WrestleScope Weekly, the podcast. I am the Icon Jonny K. Thank you very much for tuning in tonight. Thank you to everybody that is watching on YouTube, on Twitch, Facebook Live, and TikTok. TikTok, I don't know why the light's so dark again. I don't know what's going on. I'm working on it. I am working on it as we've got our notes everywhere here. All right. Before we get into the big news of the week, let's get a couple of things out of the way here first. You can see it scrolling on the bottom wherever you may be watching, except on TikTok. Please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you can be updated on everything that's going on with WrestleScope TV. That's right. And don't forget, if you want to find out where else we are on social media, it's very easy to do. First of all, we are on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Twitch. But the best way to find us, and I'm going to leave this scrolling at the bottom, it's the easiest thing to do. Go to our bio wherever you may be watching right now. And if you're listening, that's right, this is the podcast, so there is an audio podcast of this as well. Wherever you may be listening to this, you could check our bio, click on the link tree there, and you can get connected on all of our social media, every social media outlet I've got. Also, the Amazon wish list. I have to keep plugging the Amazon wish list with some really cool stuff in there. And that reminds me, hang on, we may be doing some things with masked podcasts. That's right. We may break out the masks. We may even, where is he? We may even bring out the panda again too. We've got to bring out the panda bear. So definitely go check out the link tree. Greatly appreciate that, everybody. Thank you very much. And Lucas, thank you very much. I appreciate it. I figured out what the issue was. If you were tuning in early, was having some, David, I'll get to that in a few minutes. Okay. Asking a question about Roman or Brock. We will talk about that. I actually have a list of things to talk about today. So we're going to be working on that. Oh, and look, it's dinner time. It's dinner time on the podcast. So I may be eating during the, sorry, folks, I may be eating during the podcast. I apologize about that. But we've got a lot of stuff to talk about here. And the big news coming out yesterday was Triple H. Triple H was on the Stephen A. Smith show, Stephen A. Smith's World, and did a very, very candid sit-down interview with him, talking about his health and other things. He opened up about his family history of heart problems, being very quiet during the recovery. There was a lot of things that we didn't hear anything. I mean, it was a lot of radio silence from Triple H. And as well, he had also talked about what WWE looks for when scouting talent right now. He had the interview again yesterday with Stephen A. Smith. He went into further details about the cardiac event that he suffered back in September. And this is the quote from Triple H. When they got inside, I basically genetically had a 99.9% blockage of my left anterior descending artery, which is what they call the widowmaker. The heart had started to create a secondary pathway, but that was clogged as well. So I was basically moments away. If I had thrown a clot of any type or had any thickening, I was gone. This was the direct quote from Triple H. He also disclosed a family history of heart-related problems. This is, again, Triple H being quoted. My dad had a triple bypass at 62. My grandfather passed away at 70 from heart disease. I didn't know. I just found out a couple of weeks prior to that. My great-grandfather had died at 52, sudden death. So it was a genetic issue, he said. He has basically a defibrillator in his heart, in his chest. So he announced, that's it. He no longer can wrestle. That is it. He cannot be an active participant in the ring anymore. And there were talks, I guess, about before all this happened, about him having some sort of a part at WrestleMania, some sort of action at WrestleMania. But obviously what happened back in September changed everything. And thankfully, he is back to work. He isn't fully recovered yet. but he actually looked pretty good on the interview. I encourage you, if you have not seen the interview yet, when you're done watching this or done listening to this, please go to YouTube, check out ESPN's YouTube channel. They've got it in there. It is a very candid interview. You get to see the real side of Paul Levesque. He's not Triple H, the character. He's not Triple H, the COO of WWE. It is Paul Levesque, the man, talking about what he went through and how serious it was. And you could see when he talked about how close he was to potentially having something catastrophic happening, he got very emotional about it, understandably so. So, Jay Miller, thank you very much for the follow on TikTok. I greatly appreciate that. So, again, Triple H is done as an in-ring competitor, which is a shame because, honestly, when he announced his retirement, it was, I forget what the number was. It was actually 30 years, almost to the day of his debut in WCW. It was off by one. Unbelievable to think that and maybe he timed it that way intentionally on the day after the 30th anniversary of his debut in WCW, that he has to call it a career. But thankfully, as we've been talking about Triple H for the last day and a half, we're not talking about him in the way that we were talking about Scott Hall a couple of weeks ago. You know, we're not talking about, another person that, passed away way too early. Thankfully, we still have Triple H here. We still have, Paul Levesque here to continue to make an impact on the world of wrestling, even though it won't be as an in-ring competitor. And you just look at everything that he's done over the last couple of years as he's risen up the ranks in WWE as the COO of the company. And just, the things that he did with NXT, the Black and Gold brand, and continuing to bring in new talent for WWE. Hopefully now you notice September, when all of this went down, that's when we started to see the changes in NXT. And it's unfortunate, but maybe now we can see his involvement, maybe not in NXT, but maybe on the main roster, and see some changes there. Jay Quick, yep, always one of your favorite wrestlers. He may not, and thank you for checking in on Twitch. Greatly appreciate that. You are one of my latest followers on Twitch. Thank you very much for that. There were times, he wasn't my favorite wrestler, but you have to appreciate everything that he has done in the industry. You take a look at just the way he has moved up the ranks. He started out as Terra Ryzen and then became Jean-Paul Levesque, and it came over to WWE, became Hunter Hearst Helmsley, the Connecticut Blue Blood, the Snob, and obviously transformed himself, aligned himself with Shawn Michaels, and created DX and just everything that happened with that. But you look at the way, and I talked about this on yesterday's show, and I'm going to get to all the questions that are coming on TikTok. I'm going to get to you guys. I just want to stay on this for a minute, though. That his career, just the way he morphed and evolved and did everything, it was incredible. And then obviously positioning himself with the McMahon family in real life by getting involved with Stephanie, and just, positioning himself as a businessman, to make his way up the ranks, in the WWE. You have to have respect for that, whether you loved the character or hated the character. No, you love all the wrestler tributes have been incredible, because that's when you begin to understand. Now, I'm a guy, I've said it before, I have been watching wrestling for over 40 years. So I've seen so many things happen in the world of wrestling. And, I'm not one of these new people that just, have come around in the last 10 years. I've been watching it for a long time. Yep. Happy he's alive. Love Trips. Lucas, No, I didn't. Feel free to throw it in the comments. I've been kind of off of Twitter today and off of social media because I've been busy. So let me see if I can get caught up on a few things here. In the comments, what is your favorite memory of Triple H? What is your favorite memory of him? I honestly think it comes down to two things. One, it was his return after being out with the quad injury. When he returned, it wasn't Madison Square Garden. It's going to drive me nuts. I can't remember what arena it was, but the incredible pop that he got, even though people knew he was coming, he got a hero's welcome back. That and the vignettes they did when he was trying to convince Shawn Michaels to come back, when Shawn Michaels was a chef, and then Shawn Michaels, he kicked Stan, who, Sean Spears, those things, those are my two favorite things. All right. Going to get into a couple of TikTok. Oh, wow. TikTok is just on fire right now. Let's see. Country Western Brock is way more likable. Yeah. I'm enjoying Brock Lesnar right now. Oh, Jay Quick says it was Garden in 02. Yes. Okay. Thank you very much for that. David still hates Brock though. I'm not good. Leo, really? What was my favorite territory? Oh, that's a good question. Okay, so we're gonna go back to the 80s when there was still territory. I just kicked Stan. That may have been one of the greatest DX moments right there. That and when HBK argued with the little girl when he was the chef, when he was the cook. That was pretty good too. My favorite territory. Well, I'm biased towards AWA because that was the very first wrestling I ever saw was AWA back in 1976. Nick Bockwinkel, the Crusher, the Crippler, Greg Gagne, Jim Brunzell, the Clawmaster, Baron von Raschke, the Vachons, it was back in that day, Bobby the Brain Heenan, the Blackjacks, Bobby Duncombe, guys like that, that was there's always going to be a soft spot for AWA for me because that was the very first wrestling I watched. World Class Championship Wrestling was another one. What the Von Erichs did down there. That's when I first got introduced to the Freebirds. Gentleman Chris Adams, Iceman King Parsons, Gino Hernandez. And, if you haven't watched the Dark Side of the Ring, Gino Hernandez, oh my goodness, you need to watch that. So I think territory wise, those were probably my favorite too. Okay. What is with Sami Zayn and Johnny Knoxville at WrestleMania? Well, Johnny Knoxville, obviously they're using him for the mainstream attention. Obviously the new Jackass movie is out. We see that every single year, and there's always celebrities. That's why Logan Paul is around this year too. But when Johnny Knoxville is getting, and I'm going to get into this, into the next thing I'm going to talk about is the WrestleMania build and just how big of a fail it is. When Johnny Knoxville is getting more attention than your two, your two mid-card titles, there's a big problem with that. Artful Dodger, liked AWA, Mid-South. I didn't find out about Mid-South until actually Mid-South was gone. So it was hard for me. It was AWA, and then it was World Class Championship Wrestling and NWA at the same time, because that's when my mom first got cable for us when I was a teenager. So that's when I first got introduced to the NWA and that, and obviously WWF as well. So, okay, let's go ahead and transition. Hang on a second. We got a couple of comments I want to get to here. Let's see. Yes, the Vince loves chicken. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Oh, yep. Jay Quick with another one. Yeah, when HBK kicked Mike Knox, yes. Who was that? Survivor Series. Who was that? That was great. Yes, Global Wrestling Federation. I remember that one too. Thanks to ESPN back in the day when they used to show that at 3:00 Monday through Friday. It was AWA, it was World Class Championship Wrestling. Then it was GWF. That's where I got introduced to that. And when we got to see Del Wilkes, the Patriot, for the very first time. That was great stuff there. All right, a lot of questions coming up already about WrestleMania. So let's jump into it and let's talk about it. It was announced last night that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal is going to happen on SmackDown next week. It's not even going to be on the pre-show. Okay. And here is the graphic that they show. Well, here's who is listed on the graphic. Commander Aziz, the Viking Raiders, Apollo Crews, Damian Priest, Finn Balor, Robert Roode, Jinder Mahal, R-Truth, Shanky, Reggie, Drew Gulak, Akira Tozawa, Madcap Moss, Cedric Alexander, Shelton Benjamin, and Mansoor. All right. Stop for a moment. 2 of those names do not belong in there. They should be having a singles match on WrestleMania. Which 2 names am I talking about? Well, it'd be surrounding the United States Championship. The United States champion Finn Balor and the former champion Damian Priest. Why is the United States champion in a battle royal on SmackDown that should be during WrestleMania? Explain to me. Explain to me why this is happening. And also explain this one to me. It was also announced last night that the Intercontinental Champion, Ricochet, is going to be defending his match in basically a triple threat match against Angel and Umberto on SmackDown, not at WrestleMania, not even on the pre-show. Now, Ricochet, he was just given the Intercontinental Championship. And if you watched SmackDown last night, I so badly wanted to throw my microphone at the screen last night because I knew as soon as first of all, it was just a hot mess. Ricochet comes out, and on the graphic, they show Angel or on the ring announcement, it was Angel. But then it showed on the graphic, it was Umberto. And then it ended up being Angel. And it was a screwy finish. You know, it was a crappy finish. And Angel gets the victory. Like, okay, so this is leading to Angel versus Ricochet. It'll be a good one-on-one match. But then Ricochet is all ticked off, and he ends up calling out Umberto. So he has a match with Umberto. And, back and forth match for a few minutes. Umberto and Ricochet are outside, and you clearly see Angel go underneath the ring, and you knew something stupid was going to happen. Maybe you have the camera shot not show Angel climb under the ring. Umberto goes back in at either 7 or 8. Ricochet is trying to get in, and Angel reaches out from underneath, grabs his leg, prevents him from going in. Umberto wins by countout. So your brand new Intercontinental Champion just lost twice on the same night. And now he's booked for a title defense against 2 guys on SmackDown. He doesn't even get to be on WrestleMania, and either does the United States Heavyweight Champion. What the heck is going on with WWE? It's not like this card is overloaded right now. We've talked about this. There's 11 announced matches for the 2 nights. You mean to tell me 6 matches on one night, 5 matches on another night, and that's going to fill 3 hours both nights? Sorry for the language, but I call bullshit. Okay, I'm sorry. My apologies. It's just how I'm feeling. It's garbage. WWE is booking an absolutely horrific WrestleMania. It is not stupendous. It is horrendous. Okay. The most horrendous 2 nights in wrestling history. Okay. Maybe not, but it's bad. Exactly. Artful Dodger. WWE doesn't know how to utilize Balor or Rhea Ripley. That is right. Absolutely right. On the positive side, okay, I'm not going to sit here and be super negative. On the positive side, if you missed it today, WWE came out with a post. The Seth Rollins WrestleMania story, it continues. It's continuing off air. WWE revealed a screenshot of a text message to Seth Rollins from Vince McMahon, and this is what it said. Seth, someone from my office is going to be reaching out to you to set up a meeting at corporate headquarters. I want you in my office 9 a.m. on Monday. Now, keep in mind, at the end of Raw, Seth Rollins basically said he was going to do his own Occupy Raw, much like Daniel Bryan did back before WrestleMania 30. Was it WrestleMania 30? Yes. And they're going to play this up. Are we going to see video footage of this meeting on Raw? Possibly. Or is Seth Rollins going to come out and be super happy? Excuse me. Is he going to come out super happy at the beginning of the show and talk about what's going on? Or are we going to get teases again? I don't know. It's hard to say. I like the fact that they are continuing on this story, but who knows? Thank you, David, for clarifying. Yes, it was WrestleMania 30. How do you feel about this? I like the build to this. I just wish we didn't know that it's Cody Rhodes. But maybe it's all been but confirmed that Cody Rhodes is signed with WWE. Now, maybe it is a giant swerve. Maybe he hasn't. Maybe Uncle Dave Meltzer and Wrestling Observer newsletter got it wrong again. Though I have seen a couple of other news sources have said it's true, but are they going off the Meltzer news? I don't know. Oh, Jay Quick. That is awesome. That would be awesome if it's not Vince, but Cody. That would be pretty sweet. But that makes too much sense. Yeah, back to what I was saying before about why is WrestleMania a big mess? Bruce Pritchard. Possibly. Now, there is some other news, something else big. There could be a huge return on Monday night. And his name is not Cody Rhodes. He's not dashing. He's not a nightmare. He's almighty. That's right. Bobby Lashley, who has been out since Elimination Chamber due to a shoulder injury, a legit shoulder injury, he looks to be coming back on Monday night. And boy, howdy, he's going to... Oh, wow. Did I just say it? Wow. Sorry, Luke Owen. I think I just stole yours right there. He is going to have a major WrestleMania match. He is going to be facing off with Omos. Yes, Omos. Artful Dodger, I'll get to that in a minute. Yes, the plan is the almighty Bobby Lashley, the former WWE champion, to be taking on Omos with absolutely no build. The only build they have done to this match was Omos saying the word dominating. That's it. Why? Somebody wake me when Omos is done wrestling. Yes. Yeah, it's going to be, how is Bobby Lashley going to be able to get the full Nelson on this guy? He's so much taller. Yeah, whatever. Okay. Lucas, I love that. Give Lashley Seth, give Cody Omos. Oh my goodness, wouldn't that be the most hilarious swerve ever right there? Yeah, Cody. Yeah. Here's my Vince McMahon. Cody, yeah, we're going to give you a massive match, a huge match, a gargantuan match at WrestleMania. And his name is Omos. Yes. That would be great. I would love it. Completely throw everything under the doggone bus, right? Oh, jeez. You are watching and listening to the WrestleScope Weekly Podcast. I am the Icon Jonny K. Thank you very much for tuning in. As always, let me remind you, please, if you are watching this on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live, and TikTok, make sure you check out the link tree in the bio. You can get all of our social media. You can see the Amazon wish list, the Patreon page, which I promise this coming week I'm going to be updating. Things have been a little bit crazy in my personal life, so I will be updating that. But the Amazon wish list has some really cool stuff in it. And if you would like to support the channel, if you'd like to support me, hey, I would greatly appreciate it. It would be awesome. But the big thing, before we get on to the next subject, the big thing I want to talk about here, I want to take a couple minutes in the middle of the show, is to talk about, if you have not heard, if you've heard this before, I apologize that I'm repeating it, but I have to talk about it. We are 30 days away from my deadline for my goal of reaching certain milestones with these channels. April 25th is my birthday. And I am hoping to reach 100 followers on Twitch, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 10,000 followers on TikTok. And I got a ways to go here in the next 30 days. I'm working on some things to maybe build up a little bit more interest in the channels to get it going. But if I can reach 2 of those 3 goals, I am going to do a 24-hour live stream. What am I going to do for 24 hours? Who knows? Am I going to be able to stay awake for 24 hours? Who knows? David, you share my birthday. Awesome. That is awesome. Thank you. We'll have to do something special on April 25th, which I believe is a Monday. I should know this. Let's see. Yes, it is a Monday, so hopefully Raw will be good that night. I do not have confidence in that, but who knows? So yes, if you could please help me out with, if you are not following me on my channels, please do. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much. Because the main reason I'm trying to reach those goals is, quite honestly, that is when I could start talking about being affiliate or monetizing these channels. And that is the end game right here, is being able to monetize these channels and be able to do more with them. Right now, my goal is not to turn this into a full-time job, because I'm working on something else right now in my life. But if I could just pay, through, follows and likes and everything else, to be able to pay for all the stuff that I do with these channels, using StreamYard and other things, Buzzsprout for the podcast and everything else, that would be awesome. I would love that. Look at that. Jay Quick is an April baby too. That is great. That is absolutely awesome. So if you guys can help me out, I'll do a reminder before the end of the show here about that as well. Okay. I do want to talk about WrestleMania again real quick. We talked a little bit about, we talked about the Battle Royal, the IC title, the US Championship not being on the main show. Why has the build for this pay-per-view, for this premium live event, why has the build been so horrid? I mean, the stuff between Roman and Brock has actually been pretty good, though it's been stretched out a little bit too long. The build for AJ and Edge has been great. The build, I gotta admit, the build for Stone Cold and KO has been good. The build for Bianca and Becky has been good. Roman and Brock has been good, but a little too long. Charlotte and Ronda. Oh, that had to have been one of the most painful things I've ever watched on television right there. Ronda, first of all, should be a heel. Second of all, Ronda needs to have somebody that is her mouthpiece. She needs to have a Vicky Guerrero type person with Nyla Rose, though Nyla Rose doesn't need help on the microphone. She's actually pretty good on the mic herself. Jade Cargill doesn't really need smart Mark Sterling, with her. Give Ronda somebody to be the person on the microphone for her. Give her credit. She fumbled a little bit on the promo last night and recovered well. But just there's no energy between her and Charlotte Flair. And Charlotte Flair, I'm sorry, maybe I compare her to her dad too much, but man, she learned no mic skills from Ric Flair. Absolutely zero. None. Lucas, her UFC days are done. If she went back to UFC, she'd get killed. She would get killed. Okay. I don't 100% agree with that. I think the problem has been with the women's tag titles. At least they've been getting attention. At least, you've got 8 women there that are finally getting some attention. I am happy to see Shayna Baszler involved in this because it's giving her something decent to do. My goodness, they have talk about a misutilized and underutilized talent. I am really hoping that they put the belts on Natalya and Shayna and do something with it, because if they don't, please just release Shayna Baszler. Let her go somewhere else. Why she has not gotten a main roster singles title yet makes absolutely no sense to me. Seriously. Yeah, that was great. Women's SmackDown Championship, SmackDown Women's Championship. Why do we even say SmackDown? Or why do we even say Women's Championship? I'm going to be the SmackDown champion. Why not? Why not? What's wrong with that? I don't have a problem with that. Sorry, Brian, I missed your comment here. Let's see. Oh yeah, back to who was that said that? Who made that comment? Oh yeah, it was what Lucas said about giving Seth Lashley and giving Cody Omos. Yep. Yes, Jay Quick agrees. Yeah, the WrestleMania build has been bad. Jeff Gorski on TikTok. Ronda acts like she doesn't want to be there. Absolutely. And Artful Dodger. Yes, Shayna Baszler is an absolute badass. They need to get her back to being what she was in NXT. Holy crap, she was feared in NXT. She was dominant. She was a destroyer. And then she comes up to the main roster, and it was a joke. It was really a joke. I've heard numerous people talking about just how I'm not looking forward to this show. I really am not. I think I'm more looking forward to the reaction of people online and, watch-alongs and everything else than I am to the actual show. I'm curious to see what they're going to do with Brock and Roman. But more so, I'm curious to see what they're going to do after. Really, Edge and AJ, I'm looking forward to that match because it'll be good. Really, I don't know. Oh, that's right. I forgot about the biting of the neck angle with Shayna. Yeah, they turned her into a vampire. Yeah, what's the end game after Ronda and Charlotte? Where does Ronda go after Charlotte? Well, Ronda has pretty much said she's going full-time after WrestleMania. So maybe she's going to beat Charlotte. But, man, what's next? A returning Bayley, maybe? I don't know. You got a lot of talent in that women's division in WWE, and nobody knows what's going to happen. Artful Dodger. Yeah, absolutely. Braun Breaker is most likely going to be on the main roster soon. We shall see. Personally, I would like to see him get screwed out of the NXT championship, have Dolph Ziggler hang on to it for a little bit longer. And I don't know if it's going to be Walter. Imagine a Walter Dolph Ziggler match. Dolph Ziggler is probably the best seller in the ring in wrestling right now, has been for years, much like Shawn Michaels was, much like Ricky the Dragon Steamboat was. Imagine how well he would sell for Walter. Oh my goodness. He would get chopped all across the ring. Ziggler would be flying. That's what I would do. It's gotta be, Walter's gotta be the next one. And he's got to be the guy to defeat Dolph Ziggler and have just an incredible run as the NXT champion. And you have Braun Breaker. Maybe he's one of the couple of, main roster call-ups right after WrestleMania. I think that's what's going to happen. James Ellsworth comes back to face Seth. Oh no. Oh. Where's Asuka? Last I heard, she still wasn't cleared to return to the ring yet. I don't know what's going on with her, but it is a shame. Well, they teased that last night. Roman teased that last night. He says, for my friends on TikTok, Jay Quick says, what I want to see is Roman hold both titles, or if they get rid of the WWF title or WWE title, and Roman says he's the undisputed Universal Champion. He said that last night in his promo backstage after he ran like a scared chicken from Brock Lesnar, that he was going to beat Brock and he was going to be the undisputed WWE Universal Champion. That right there, he said that. That's what's going to end up happening. Is if Roman wins, he's going to stay on SmackDown. He's not going to appear on both shows. And what they will do for WrestleMania Backlash at the end of April is going to be, they're going to have a mini tournament for a new WWE champion on Raw or whatever they're going to name it. Okay. Who are you talking about? Are you talking about Dolph or are you talking about Walter? Oh, don't have Walter hold it for 2 years. No, he won't hold it for 2 years. I think he's going to have at least a 6-month run with it, if not a little bit longer. Yeah, I would like to see him hold it until right around Survivor Series. That would be awesome. Yes, David. Yes, Asuka has been gone for a long time. She was injured, but who knows what's going on with her, really. All right. Lots of great conversation going on tonight. Greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for all the comments and the questions coming in. Keep them coming, guys. I'm going to get to all of them. This weekend, obviously a huge weekend in the huge week coming up in the world of wrestling. And Ring of Honor SuperCard of Honor is coming up on Friday night. And it's a good looking card right now. We have Jonathan Gresham taking on Bandito in a winner-takes-all match to determine the undisputed Ring of Honor World Heavyweight Champion. Bandito missed the last pay-per-view for Ring of Honor because of COVID, and Jonathan Gresham won the interim championship. Wasn't it Gresham and Jay Lethal, I believe? So those two are going to go to battle for that. The Briscoe brothers versus FTR for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships. That is going to be an unbelievable match. Swerve the Realist against Alex Zane, Joe Hendry, and Ninja Mac have been announced for matches. And this one was just announced. Josh Woods, the ROH Pure Champion, is taking on AEW's Wheeler Yuta. I find this interesting because now all of a sudden, Wheeler Yuta, an AEW guy, FTR, AEW guys. Swerve was announced before he signed with AEW. Jonathan Gresham has inked a deal with AEW. We don't know if he's going to work with Ring of Honor or with AEW or both, but Tony Khan really starting to put his fingerprints all over this. This is going to be a phenomenal show, and we are really going to get to have an understanding of what Tony Khan is planning with Ring of Honor. Unfortunately, I am most likely not going to be able to watch this show live. I really want to, because I really, really want to see the Briscoes and FTR. That is going to be an absolute crazy match. Jay Quick, he's intrigued by SuperCard with Tony Khan running in. He wants to see where Ring of Honor ends up. Do not be surprised if we get an announcement, if not on Dynamite on Wednesday, it will be at SuperCard of Honor that Tony Khan has inked a deal with HBO Max. We will hear it. Let's see, what do we got here? Artful Dodger says Gresham would be amazing in AEW. Yes, he would. And my hope is wherever he ends up, please bring his wife along. Jordan Grace. Oh my goodness. I would love Jordan Grace in AEW, but I'd love to see her in doing stuff in Ring of Honor too. Have them be the Ring of Honor super couple there. That would be phenomenal. So who do I have winning the tag match at SuperCard of Honor? I think it's going to be FTR. I really think it's going to be FTR. It's all going to play into, that whole thing with them firing Tully Blanchard and the Young Bucks calling them out, telling them they're the second best tag team in the world. But FTR can come back and say, hey, we got 2 championships. What do you guys have? Because remember, they're the AAA champions. They're the AAA tag team champions still. They could come back, stick that in the faces of the Young Bucks. We got 2 championships. Where are yours? Jay Quick, I did not see that Lethal was booked for SuperCard of Honor either. Be interested to see him back in there as well. Got more messages here on the TikTok. James Ellsworth, the AEW, please no. Yeah, David, yes. Jordan Grace, oh my goodness, yes. She is fantastic. Cowboy James Storm. I'd like to see him back in one of these major promotions too. If you're not following Cowboy James Storm on TikTok, you need to. Dude is hilarious. He really is hilarious. All right. We've only talked a little bit about Cody Rhodes tonight, and we've got some really big news. What's next for Cody Rhodes? Well, kind of, sort of. Cody Rhodes, he's going to be producing a documentary about his father, the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. It's aimed at focusing on the legacy of Dusty. Now, there's no details on when or where this documentary is going to appear, but I'll be interested to see. The interesting thing with this is he's got to be going to WWE, because if this is going to end up being on like an A&E, he's going to need to have WCW and WWF content and NXT content. And the only way he's going to be able to get video content and approval for that is by being with WWE. So that could have been one of the carrots that was dangling for him. And they said, hey, listen, we'll let you do this. We'll give you access to all the video footage of your dad, everything, if you sign with us. There we go. Back to AEW for a couple of minutes here. Let's talk about this. AEW, they teased another women's signing, the Owen Hart Foundation Women's Tournament. Remember, there's going to be an Owen Hart Foundation tournament, a men's tournament and a women's tournament, ending at Double or Nothing in May. They've announced the very first match in the women's tournament. It's a qualifier match. It's going to be on Dynamite. It's going to be the Bunny facing a yet-to-be-named new talent in the opening round match. But that talent is going to be announced as a new signing on Wednesday night. Who do you think it's going to be? The obvious names, Mia Yim, who is the wife of Keith Lee, Deonna Purrazzo, maybe. I think she's kind of the dark horse in this one. Deonna Purrazzo, because she is the current Ring of Honor champion. Toni Storm or Athena, formerly known as Ember Moon. I don't know which way to lean on this one, because I think Deonna Purrazzo is the dark horse in this out of all of them. I think, yeah, Lucas, I would have to. Jay Quick is saying it's either Toni Storm or Ember Moon. Okay. Lucas is saying it's Ember Moon. I'd love to see it be Ember Moon, but it is certainly not Nia Jax. She has pretty much said she is done. Artful Dodger is saying Mia Yim. I think Mia Yim, because I'd like to see Ember Moon come in to be that challenger for Jade Cargill. They need somebody of a little bit of a bigger name, and no offense to Mia Yim, I think Ember Moon or Athena would be a slightly bigger name for Jade Cargill, and Mia Yim would be good for the bunny. But Toni Storm, yeah. And of course, okay, we have to take a minute to talk about Toni Storm. Congratulations to her. Man, she made a huge splash on OnlyFans this past week. It was last weekend where she made, the last number I heard was like $30,000 in the first day on OnlyFans. That is incredible for her. Congratulations to her on that. Nixon Newell, that's another name that, you know, a lot of casual wrestling fans don't know. That would be a good name too. It is going to be a name that is going to draw wrestling fans' attention. So there's no wrong way they could go for this with Mia Yim, Toni Storm, or Ember Moon. Any one of those three would be absolutely fantastic. And WWE Roman Reigns is saying Mia Yim on Twitch or on TikTok. She settled for life. Oh, you're talking about Toni Storm? Yeah, absolutely. Also announced for Dynamite, and I really liked this segment last night. This was one that was not announced. Fuego del Sol comes out, and you know he gets in the ring, and we really haven't heard him on the mic much. Even on Dark Elevation, he comes out all fired up, talking about Malachi Black and the House of Black, and he gave a really good passion promo. And then all of a sudden the lights go out. You get Buddy Matthews in one corner, you get Brody King in the other corner, and right smack dab in the middle you get Malachi Black. I love that trio. Don't add anybody else to that group, at least guys. Leave them as a trio. I like it the way it is. And they absolutely destroyed Fuego. They destroyed him. But then Evil Uno, Stu Grayson, and it was John Silver, Johnny Hungy, and Alex Reynolds come down. The Dark Order comes down. We're going to get Dark Order and House of Black. That's pretty awesome. The original Dark faction in AEW goes up against the new really dark faction. But on Dynamite, we get the trios match of the House of Black versus Fuego del Sol, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson of the Dark Order. That's going to be a fun match. Though I would have rather have seen 10 in there against Brody King. That would be awesome. Poor Fuego is going to get killed again. But I like this. It was great to see a different side of Fuego's del Sol. Actually, we have seen have him do promos before when I forget who it was, and my memory is really not that great in a lot of things. When against Miro, when Miro was the TNT champion, and Sammy Guevara, you know, when Miro put up his what was his car? He put up his car to go against Miro. And we got a little bit of promo work from him then, but this was hands down the best one he's ever done. Thank you so much, Jay Quick. Exactly. Can we never hear Dan Lambert again? He is cringe. That whole, I'll admit, you know, I am a huge fan of Ty Conti. Absolutely a gigantic fan of Ty Conti. And I like Sammy Guevara too. And I'm happy for those two as a couple and everything. But that whole segment was cringeworthy on Wednesday night. But Dan Lambert, oh my goodness, he so badly is trying to be a cross between Bobby the Brain Heenan and Vince Russo. I put this on Twitter the other day. You know, Dan Lambert is when you try ordering a combination of Bobby the Brain Heenan and Vince Russo from Wish. That's what you get with Dan Lambert. Ugh. Lucas loves Dan. Oh my goodness. Lucas, I've lost respect for you, my friend. I really have. Braun Strowman is not going to be in AEW anytime soon. He pretty much said he's done with corporate wrestling. So, yeah, David, I still can't believe Scott Hall is dead. Still dealing with that. Yeah. Adam Scherr, Braun Strowman is in CYN with EC3, and he's very happy. It's not his fault it was so bad. Yeah, it was. Every time he comes out, it's bad. It's really bad. He's not that good. He really isn't. But to each their, hey, everybody's allowed their opinion. This is a safe zone here for you on WrestleScope TV. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. I just don't have to agree with you, okay? Jay Quick, that's a good question. Control your narrative. What in the world just popped up on my screen? Uh-oh. I got weird things popping up on my screen. How long do you give EC3's company to last? 3 months, 6 months to a year? I think maybe a year. I'd like to see them be successful. I want them to be successful. But when they came out with their Fight Club type rules, let me see if I can pull them up here real quick. Let me see if I can find them so we can talk about them real quick. Here we go. CYN rules. Let's see if we can get this. Okay. The rules of Control Your Narrative have been announced. Okay. First rule, you are in control. Second rule, you're in control. Third rule, fights end when you tap out, get knocked out, can't stand or quit. Sanctioned matches can end via pinfall. Okay. Standard professional wrestling rules apply for sanctioned matches. Chaos ensues in the project pit, whatever that is. Fifth rule, no super kicks, no tope suicidas, no Canadian destroyers. Okay. Sixth rule, the fight isn't with your opponent, it's with yourself. Then why do you have an opponent? Okay. Seventh rule, fights will go on as long as they have to. Sanctioned matches hit their times. Eighth rule, if you want to control your narrative, you have to fight. Fights within the narrative, that is a different story. Okay. EC3 is definitely an eccentric person. I think he got dropped on his head a few too many times in developmental and in Impact. And when he came back to NXT, I think he got dropped on his head a few too many times. It's interesting that he's coming out with something new, but no super kicks, no tope suicidas. Okay, the tope suicida is way overused. It really is way overused. Super kicks, thanks to the Young Bucks, have become overused. Okay. Canadian Destroyer, okay, maybe. When P.D. Williams was the only guy using that move, it was pretty freaking awesome. And now everybody and their grandmother is doing a Canadian Destroyer. Okay. Brian, really it is no shame on Bobby Heenan, okay? But I was just using it as an example. Vince Russo and Bobby Heenan in the same sentence. No, it's not a crime. You know what is a crime is the fact that the Crusher is not in the WWE Hall of Fame. Segue. The Crusher should be in the WWE Hall of Fame. The fact that he is not and that Queen Sharmell is going in is a travesty. We need to get him in the WWE Hall of Fame. We've still got 6 days to make it happen. Damn it. We're going to make it happen. The Crusher needs to be in the WWE Hall of Fame, or Vince McMahon needs to explain to me personally why he is not in the WWE Hall of Fame. Somebody get me an answer. WWE, tell me why it hasn't happened. Okay. Sorry about that. What do you think is going to happen to Darby Allin title-wise? I don't think he's going to hold another title. I really don't. Until the trios titles come around. He's been the TNT champion. He will not be a tag champion with Sting. He's not going to be the AEW champion anytime soon. I don't think he's going to hold another title in AEW right now. Yep, the wild card for, are you talking about AEW? Oh, yeah, for Control Your Narrative is the streaming site to see where they're going to be. That's true. I'm not talking about Connor the Crusher. No offense to Connor the Crusher. I am talking about the Crusher, the legendary wrestler, not Connor the Crusher. Okay? Gilbert to come back to face Seth Rollins. I love that one. Now, why is Gilbert not in the WWE Hall of Fame either? He deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame too, doesn't he? All right. Let's get any last minute questions any of you guys may have, so we can wrap this up, because my dinner has been sitting here. My wife worked very hard on dinner, and it's sitting here and getting cold. So any last comments you guys want to get in before we wrap this up? Thank you very. Oh, okay. Okay. Lucas, I appreciate that it was just a joke. That's good. All right. Get your last minute comments in here before we wrap up the show today. Thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today. We've had a lot of great comments here, a lot of great questions. Artful Dodger, the House of Black needs to add Rosemary. No, the House of Black needs to add Julia Hart. It's there. It's right there on the platter. It's right there on the silver platter, ready to be taken. Julia Hart, no longer the pretty little cheerleader. She is going to go dark. Yes. Where do I think Bray Wyatt is going to end up? From Jeff Gorski on TikTok. I have no idea. AEW would be the place to go, but you've already got Malachi Black there with the House of Black. I'd love to see him do something with the Dark Order. I really would. And maybe, just maybe. Okay, hear me out here for a minute, folks. You get the Dark Order versus the House of Black feud, and it goes on for a little while. It goes on for maybe a month. And it gets to the point where the Dark Order, they sit there and they ask themselves, all right, what have we done wrong? We take a look at, maybe they have a family meeting of sorts, which we haven't seen anything like that in a while from Dark Order, where they just cannot overcome Malachi Black and the House of Black, and they can't figure out what's going on. And they bring up Brody Lee. They say, ever since we lost our exalted leader, we just have not been able to do things right. We have struggled since we lost him. That's what we need. We need something like that. And they tease and they tease and they tease. And at Double or Nothing, we get Wyndham Rotunda, or whatever name he wants to go by. We get Wyndham Rotunda in AEW. We finally get him there. That would be amazing. I would like to see that happen. That's the way I would book it. I think I know where I'm going with it. Yeah, just we'll see. That would be awesome, though. They've been talking about aligning him with the Dark Order for a long time, and this is the perfect time if they continue on with this Dark Order House of Black mini feud. This would be perfect to bring him in, and Dark Order gets back to their roots again. They get back to where they were with Brody Lee. And he does it in honor of his fallen brother. It'll be, a year too late, but maybe not too late. Okay. Lucas, back to Darby Allin again. He thinks he's going to hold the trios titles with Sting and who else? Darby Allin, Sting. I think it would be somebody new coming in. I think it would be. But who? That's the question. Lucas wants to know what I've got for dinner. We've got homemade chicken sandwiches with French fries, cheese sauce, and a unnamed fast food restaurant's Polynesian sauce, because I'm not going to be plugging any corporate sponsors that are not giving me money, because that's the way it is. You think that he's going to Hollywood for a while? You're talking about Bray Wyatt. He's been doing a movie. You're doing a movie. He's doing a movie. I believe AEW and HBO Max, I believe that deal is already done. I believe it's done because it's been teased. It was teased right before the Ring of Honor announcement that was going to be the big reveal. And I think that's part of the whole thing. Was he's had that in the works for a while, that HBO Max is going to be kind of the streaming site for AEW, and it's also going to be the streaming for Ring of Honor, which is going to be huge. I'd be excited for that because I'm already a subscriber to HBO Max. It would just give me another reason to watch that channel. Undertaker versus Seth Rollins. No, you know what's going to happen? Seth's going to go into the office. Seth is going to be going off. He's going to be yelling and screaming. All of a sudden, Teddy Long walks in like, player, you're mouthing off to Mr. McMahon. That means you're going to get a match against The Undertaker. Danhausen with Darby and Sting. Okay, here's my question about Dan. I loved that segment with Danhausen and Hook last night. That was great. Is Danhausen actually ever going to wrestle in AEW? Or is he just going to show up and scare people a little bit and put the hex on him? Really, seriously, is he ever going to does Danhausen wrestle? Okay. He's Jay Quick, you were all over it tonight, man. Oh my goodness. Seth Rollins versus TL Hopper. It's going to be TL Hopper in a plunger on a pole match. So Seth can get his WrestleMania out of the crapper, right? Oh my goodness. Oh, Jay Quick, you're on fire tonight, man. You are on fire on Twitch. I really appreciate it. Wow. Yeah, Danhausen was a Ring of Honor guy, but who was injured? TL Hopper? Oh, Danhausen. Danhausen is injured. Okay. That's why he's doing. That's right. Yeah, he had didn't he have an ankle injury? He had an ankle injury back in December, and he had to miss the Ring of Honor match. Saba Simba. That's just, Let's get our top 10 of worst gimmicks of all time. Saba Simba. That's pretty high up there. Wow. Seth Rollins versus the Berserker. Hey, can we get Seth Rollins versus Nails? Bring Nails back. Or Seth Rollins versus Buff Bagwell in a Seth Rollins versus Buff Bagwell versus TL Hopper in a Judy Bagwell and a plunger on a pole match. That's Vince Russo booking right there. Bro. Yeah, back to Danhausen. Yeah, it was a leg ankle, more serious. But he hasn't been out in a boot. I have not seen him in a boot. Seth Rollins versus the Yeti? Or how about Seth Rollins versus the ECW Zombie? Can we get that too? That would be pretty awesome. Wow. Oh, Seth, man. I should be tweeting some of this stuff just to see Seth versus Mantar. How about Seth versus the Gobbledygooker? Seth versus Fake Kane and Fake Diesel. Though, actually, I think isn't Fake Kane is dead, isn't he? I mean, we all know Fake Diesel was Kane, was Glenn Jacobs. Fake Diesel's dead, I believe. Seth versus me? Well, since you mentioned that, I would be more than happy to give Seth his WrestleMania moment. And he could take on Johnny Two Belts. And I'll put both of my belts on the line against Seth Rollins. Jay Quick, you've obviously been a wrestling fan for a long time. Seth Rollins versus Salvatore Sincere. Wasn't it Tom Brandy? Wasn't Tom Brandy Salvatore Sincere? Yep. Yep. Johnny Two Belts. We'll put Sweet Charlotte to 10 pounds of gold. And this one in honor of Triple H retiring yesterday. Yeah, Lucas, I already said Seth versus the Gobbledygooker. Why can't I get that one to show up? Hold on. There we go. Seth Rollins versus Rikishi. Hello, Machine Bob 77 on TikTok. Yep. All right. I'm putting it out there. This is the official thing. Seth Rollins, you need a WrestleMania opponent. You need anybody to wrestle. Okay? Vince McMahon, I don't know what he's going to give you. The open challenge is being laid out. The Icon, Jonny K. The commercial stopper. The mid-card event. The curtain jerker. That's me. Johnny Multiple Belts. I will put them all on the line against you at WrestleMania. Let's do it. I just need Vince to give me a plane ticket to Dallas. I need a guaranteed interview with Piper Niven. And what else can I ask for? And I want dance lessons from Pat McAfee. And I want to be able to go tell Corey Graves to shut up in his face. That's all I ask for. Okay? Let's make it happen. Seth Rollins, the Icon Jonny K, WrestleMania. Let's do it. No, absolutely not. No. Jay Quick, no. I will bring more prestige to this belt than Matt Cardona ever will. Okay? Hey, we could get Seth versus Santina's daughter. Santina. Santina, not Santino, Santina. Actually, I do have a good life insurance policy. I do have a good life insurance. Seth versus the Warlord. There we go. I'm telling you, we got a couple of days to make it happen. Hey, he hasn't had his meeting with Vince yet. Expect this on TikTok. I'm going to be making the challenge. All right. To Seth Rollins. Let's do it. All right. Thank you very much, everybody, for tuning in. Jay Quick. Man, I love this. Seth versus Waylon Mercy. Yeah. How about Seth versus Skinner? Or Seth versus the Red Rooster? Oh, Seth versus MJF would be awesome. Imagine the promo battles those two guys would have. That would be awesome. All right, guys, I'm going to get out of here. Thank you very much. We've gone a lot longer tonight. Thank you to everybody that has been watching and listening today, especially for all the live viewers. You guys are awesome. Keep leaving the comments. If you watch this on replay, I will be answering comments all day on Sunday. Thank you very much. Greatly appreciate it. As always, please don't forget to check out our link tree. It's in the bio wherever you may be watching or listening to this, and click on all of our social media, and you can be involved everywhere that there's social media. Don't forget about the Amazon wish list. Remember, my birthday's coming up in 30 days. Add to the collection. Add to the collection. We need more. All right. And also don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Please, the more likes, it helps out with things. Subscriptions definitely helps. Don't forget, I've got the challenge coming up. Trying to get to 100 followers on Twitch, 1,000 subscribers on YouTube, and 10,000 follows on TikTok coming up by April 25th. Let's make it happen. If we can get 2 of those 3 hit, we're going to do a 24-hour live stream. I am the Icon Jonny K. Thank you very much for tuning in for WrestleScope Weekly, the podcast, wherever you may be watching and listening. I will be back Sunday afternoon with some more fun. This has been the 25th day in a row of doing something live. We're going to keep doing lives. We're going to keep the streak going, folks. Thank you very much. Have a great night, everybody.